the first act of worship to God. In the previous verses we saw how the multiplication of humanity began outside Eden with the birth of Cain and Abel. Even though humanity now lives outside Eden, the relationship with God did not disappear. Scripture continues in Genesis chapter 4, verse 3, saying that in the course of time Cain brought an offering to the Lord from the fruit of the ground. With these words, the Bible records for the first time an act of worship presented directly before God. The expression used at the beginning of the verse is very meaningful. In the course of time. This expression communicates the idea that a period had passed until a specific moment arrived, as if the time had come to approach God. The text declares that Cain brought from the fruit of the ground an offering to the Lord. Cain was a worker of the soil, and therefore he presented before God the fruit of his labor. From the earliest chapters of Scripture, a principle appears that will run throughout the entire Bible. Human beings honor God with what the work of their hands produces. Man works the ground, yet he recognizes that every provision comes from the God who sustains life. At this moment, another important word appears: offering. This word will later be used many times in Scripture to describe something presented before God as a sign of respect, recognition, and worship. At the same time, this passage opens the door to a lesson that will develop in the following verses. Not every act of worship is necessarily accepted by God. Throughout Scripture it will be seen that God does not look only at what a person brings, but at the heart with which a person approaches God. Thus, from the beginning of human history outside Eden, the Bible reveals a profound truth. Although sin entered the world, God remains the center of history and the recipient of human worship. Humanity continues multiplying on the earth, yet God's purpose does not stop. Through the generations, God continues guiding the story of redemption until its final fulfillment. The echo of the voice of God.